Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is BC, another episode of Supreme Being. Shout out to Team BC. Shout out to Modern Success, BrianCasella.com, all that fun stuff you guys know. Special guest here. You guys recognize this young G right here who was in the Monte Carlo earlier. If you guys saw it on Instagram, right? For those of you who still see me, even though I'm extremely censored, just like him. Pablo, good friend of mine, professional image consultant from Mexico. He's here in the States again. He came to visit in Miami, and I wanted to bring him on for the podcast because I know we would have a good time. What up, homie?
Damn, I look so short beside you. God damn, man. Shit. Excuse me, I got a question. Hey. What's up, man? Bring the shit up, man. God damn shit. It's all good, man. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having me here, man. I appreciate it. Shit is fun. No, man, I appreciate being here in the Supreme Being podcast again. I love being in America again. I mean, it's good. We made it. Yes. Made it after all what was it, like 2.5 years or a little bit more?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Of bullshit, literally bullshit. And but man, yeah, I made it, man. What's up?
All right, so we're going to ping pong a little bit in this podcast. We have no idea. There's no like script, but I'm going to present a question to him, something that I observe all the time, and I want to get your input on it. A lot of people, I'm sure they come to you too. They come to me, and what they tell me, I notice a presupposition. Like they'll say something like, I'm Pablo. I'm trying to find myself. I'm looking for myself. Right. So that's the message I get. Now, I know that presupposes that they're lost already and they have to find themselves. Right. So I want to pass that to you. If you get questions like that, number one, how would you respond? But number two, that thought process, right? How did you identify it, get past it, wherever you did in your journey? And where do you think the root of that is? Because people don't even realize the trap in that, but they keep saying it.
Oh man, this answer could take the whole time of the podcast because it's a whole process, right? So I mean, the way that I did it, I can talk about that, but I can talk about how I respond, how I usually respond to people that normally I get a lot of questions like that, especially because once I started posting more about spirituality, right? Because yes, I am an image consultant, and even in that, being an image consultant, people always confuse me with being just about fashion, just about style, just about clothes. And I always tell them, all right, no, this is not just that, right? Just that alone, I can start talking about that, which is it starts in the mindset. It starts with your essence. The word, it starts with your lifestyle, how you carry yourself, what do you eat, how do you sleep, how do you wake up, and all these things. Then once I started within my own evolution, I started talking about a little bit things that are more deeper, about higher consciousness and all these things that now are woke and bullshit, but they are true anyway. And so people tell me, how do I meditate? I want to meditate. Like it's something like you buy on Whole Foods, right? Yeah, I want to get some meditation. Where do I get it? And I'm like, oh, dude, come on, man. $5.99. Go to 7-Eleven and they got 2 for 1, right? So what I say first and foremost is I got to get to know you. What do you do? What do you eat? What is your diet? What is your day-to-day, everyday life? Like when you wake up in the morning, what do you normally do? And with that starts to throw people off. Like, man, this is a long ass answer. So thank you, but not thank you. So I got a process of getting rid of people that are just want the quick answer, like, oh no, I don't have time to read. Do you remember that guy? Actually, like this is a small story that some guy supposedly hired me to become his image consultant. I told him, okay, the process is take this test, read this book, and oh no, I don't have time for anything. I don't have time for tests. I don't have time to read anything. Just give it to me. Well, it's the same thing happens with being the best version of yourself, acquiring heightened awareness and all this shit. So I cuss a lot. Oh, you can be spiritual and cuss, right? Damn. So the first thing is I get rid of the curious people, because if you're curious, then you're not interested, which means you're not disciplined. You're not going to do it. Even if I give you the step-by-step process, I already know you're not going to do it. So I ask questions. that question of a person that is interested, I ask them questions to see how interested they are and to see where they're at. Then what I do is I tell them, well, this is a whole process. It's literally a whole process. It's not something that you just do once in a while and then boom, oh, there it is. You attained it. You have attained illumination. No, it's a process. It's a lifestyle. I was talking about meditation the other day with one of your students, right? Uh, After the Modern Success event. Shout out to you, Modern Success event. That was great. And
bionic butt.
success. So I said, meditation is not something that you do. Meditation is a way of life. It's something that you're doing even if you're not like sitting down and being like, oh, no, it's something that as you're speaking, as I'm doing this podcast with you, I should be able to stay in a meditative state. Now that's the difficult part, right? So what happens is, and to further answer your question, you have to strip down at the root what happens, why people are not in that natural state. You have to strip down all the bullshit that was laid on top of you. I think from the moment we were born, we have naturally a tendency to be at our best. You see children, you see kids. I'm recently a father. I see my baby. She's 4 months old, but she's so, how can I say, aware, woke, you would say, right? She sees everything. And naturally, she's happy. She's like, well, you see it in babies. I mean, unless you're a father, you won't know what I'm talking about. But you see it even in animals, like they have a natural tendency to be who they are, if that makes sense. I mean, I would have to do a whole nother podcast to further explain this, because I don't want to just say be yourself. That's some bullshit, right?
Isn't that crazy though that an animal can literally be itself, but we can't?
Well, because the problem here is that is the programming that we have, right? The moment you're born is, I see it like pieces of paper being laid on top of you, like boom, boom, another one, and then there comes a time at your life where it waits. It's a thin layer of paper. Yeah. 1, 2, they don't weight that much. But imagine from 1 month, 0 to, I don't know, 25 to 30 years old, imagine how many layers of paper are laid on top of you. And then, what happens is it begins to weight. So then you're carrying a lot of bullshit that it was not really yours. You didn't pick it. You didn't consciously, at least, decided to have that on you. So my process is, I don't teach you anything. My process is, how do I say it? Fuck it. I'll say it as it is. Destruction. I need to destroy yourself. I need to deconstruct the bullshit that was laid on top of you, right? And then naturally, without me having to teach you the actual technique, because it's very simple. The techniques are very simple and they are everywhere. But as a natural result of the process of destroying yourself, deconstructing or reprogramming yourself, right? Reprogramming your mindset, as a natural, as a result of that thing, you're already beginning to have that tendency of being more aware, being more energetic, having that heightened awareness, higher consciousness, connecting with your higher galactic self, all that shit that I say. It's a natural process because that is your natural way. That's your natural state. But I mean, religion, social pressure, your family, your ethnicity, the country that you're born, all these things, they weigh on you. So my process is that get rid of all this shit. How? Be alone. Be completely alone, undistracted. We have a lot of distraction. You want to learn from him, then you want to learn from me, then you want to learn from them, and he's and her, and blah, 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 blah. You have a bunch of different books. And let me tell you, that's great, right? I read a lot of books, but you don't fully immerse yourself on one topic. I'm not against being everything. I mean, I'm an image consultant. I'm a /shaman, a chef, right? I'm a bunch of different things. But I had to fully immerse myself into one, and then another one, and then another one. So that's what I naturally do with my clients. And then as a result, they start seeing the results. Once I see that they're fully committed, fully immersed, then I really start giving them the real things like, okay, you did what I told you to do. Deconstruct yourself. Now come here, my son. Let me teach you something. Come here in your blood. I will teach you the breathing techniques, the meditation techniques, all these little things. And that's when you truly, how about like a whoa moment, you know?
And what I want to pass back to you too is whenever somebody comes at me with a question that, as you know, the layman's terms that people use nowadays, right? Like the mass words and popular words like lit, fam, all that shit, right? They'll they'll bring up the trigger spiritual words like a shadow work and all this shit, right? But and I want to pass this back to you in the form of a question as I formulate it right now. The way I do it, right? And you kind of described it too. I take somebody, right? I look at those two worlds, even though let's say we're gonna put it under a dome, right? Yeah. It's still, I consider it mundane, and then whatever you want to call it, esoteric, spiritual, or inner, outer, whatever, right? So you have the mundane world, and somebody's asking me now a question that in their mind is in this world, but I tell them the world you're in right now is a disaster. You can't get up on time. You can't, like you said, your diet, your lifestyle, you can't even control your emotions. You can't even sit down for 5 minutes to even attempt a meditation. You tell me you don't have time to read or study or do anything. So I say, look, before I can answer that question, this is your homework assignment. And report back in 6 months or a year. Clean up your diet, do this, do that. And once you can prove to me you've been doing that consistently, then you are now prepared to even hear that answer and actually be able to, like you said, immerse and assimilate the information. Because this disconnect, and I'll pass it back to you now, and this is what I think, the people who dive into this shadow work and this other realm, some people, if their mundane world isn't in check, they go crazy, they lose themselves, and they turn into those loonies that people associate this spiritual stuff with. And it pisses me off. But at the same time, I tell people you have to be already a certain level of clean your slate, because you said it right. We're not adding anything here. You're going back to when you were a kid, right?
We're subtracting. That's the key word. We're subtracting. We're telling you to strip away from all this bullshit, because I get you, and it pisses me off as well, because spirituality, first and foremost, is nothing that you have to do it, because it's beyond the body and the mind. So it has to do nothing with this world, and at the same time it has to do everything with this world, because as within, so as without. But yeah, people get lost in this shit. I did, even sometimes when I went to the fucking natives and I literally immersed myself. You have to, the way that you said it and the way that you put it is beautiful. Look into your life and see, what is that going to give me if I can't even pay my rent? Why the fuck do I want to learn to, drink some ayahuasca? What is that going to give you? Yeah, some shroom. Oh, bro, I did some shrooms. Yeah, okay. By the way, stop saying that. It's fucking disrespectful with all these motherfucking psychedelics. Yeah, god damn. It's cool. It's called plant medicine, and it's called Teonanacatl. That's the actual word. Teonanacatl. Can you say that? Wow. Damn. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I actually never, ever recommend people to dive into that, because yeah, I mean, you're eating McDonald's, you can't pay your rent, you're drinking every day. I mean, you have no control over yourself, over your mind, and yet you want to dive into the highest. Like, come on, man. It doesn't make any sense. You want to be at the peak of the mountain, yet you don't want to take the steps.
What's the fastest way to get there, Pablo?
Yeah. Oh, man. And that's what we get all the time, right? Whether it's spirituality, money, style, everything. And that's how we see that. I know that you and I process things in a similar way. Like, how the fuck do you want to look good? How the fuck do you want to get rich when you don't take step number one, which is the easiest? And I think people, because it's simple, it's a simple question, it's a simple answer, they're like, bah. They tend to disregard it, like, whatever, because they're accustomed to the marketing gimmick shit. Oh, I'll give you the magic bullet, and if you do what I say, you'll be rich by the end of this month. No, motherfucker, it doesn't happen like that. It's a whole lifestyle. Being rich, it's a whole lifestyle, right? It's not something, I mean, yeah, there are certain techniques that you have to apply, but if your mind isn't right, okay, you'll get the money and you'll lose it in an instant. Okay, you can drink ayahuasca. You can go to fucking Ecuador and drink ayahuasca. You can go to Mexico with me. I'll take you to go to fucking to peyote, peyote, Teonanacatl, everything, right? All the spirituality. You can go to India to an ashram, not talk for an entire month, and then they come back and they operate in the same way. How many times have we seen that? I've known people that have taken like 55, listen to me, 55 ceremonies of ayahuasca, and they're still broke ass and doing nothing with themselves. Nothing, absolutely nothing. I know people, you know who I'm talking about, that have taken all the psychedelics, all the woke plants, and they're supposed to give you all the information and awaken from the matrix, and they're the same. I'm like, I've told that person, like, motherfucker, you should be teaching me. You should be teaching me. If you did it right, you should be able to teach me, and you be the master. So yeah, I mean, it's a process, and that's why I think a lot of people just they don't want to change their lifestyle. They're looking for the magic bullet, and I think it's just a representation of today's society. And I think that's what we're at, the fucked up, rotten society. That's right, fucked up, rotten, bitch ass society, where everyone complains about everything. Oh no, you can't say this. Oh no, you can't say that. Oh my god, I'm so offended. Oh my god, shut the fuck up, man.
So, dude, like one thing I was thinking of is like, let's talk about like mundane world. Like, and when we say mundane, it's like here, right? Nothing esoteric or like ancient scroll reveals this special technique, right? Just like everyday stuff, right? So you look at something we've been saying for like a decade now. How you do anything is how you do everything, right? So what I just said earlier before I passed it back to Pablo the second time is that demonstrate to me that with this stuff, you can handle it and you got it under control. Then we can take this next step. Right. And we can deduce that because the same saying, as above, so below. Let's say that's above and now you're below. If we're going to compare, like below is the mundane stuff and this above stuff is the cool, esoteric, the higher galactic mission. Like these are the buzzwords. We're laughing here. If you're listening audio only and you don't have video, like we're laughing our ass off because these are the buzzwords that trick people. It's the same psychology that they use in the get rich quick stuff, right? It's just applied to esoteric special knowledge now. Like we could easily bullshit that, but what's the point? So when somebody comes to us and the answer is simpler than you think, it's that. Demonstrate to me that in the physical reality, you can handle your shit before we close our eyes and go there. Because this is finite, that's infinite. You get what I'm saying? But people with the finite, they can't even handle it. I'll say something like, for a week, demonstrate to me that you can keep yourself in a state where you don't lash out to people angry. Right. Then I'll hang out with them for 5 minutes. Someone cuts them off in traffic. Yeah, you mother. Yeah. I'm like, dude. And you want to unleash your inner demon and a guy cuts you off in traffic and you can't even control yourself. Or some guy's like, hey, what the fuck you looking at, eh? And you want to fight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I want to add something real quick. For example, you want to learn how to meditate, yet you get angry and triggered by the very simplest, stupid shit. Meditation is not something that you do when no one's around, when everything is easy in the forest. Well, yeah, everyone can meditate like that naturally. But when you're in the fucking stuck in the traffic, everyone telling you mother piece of shit, that's when you need to use those tools. But yeah, you're totally right, bro.
Yeah. So like he said, when you're in the middle of the chaos and you can meditate, that's when you see me go and go all woke mode, right? But that's true. And I've told people and they don't get it. He brought it up earlier, the whole meditation thing. Like when I play basketball, I'm in a meditative state. I'm not sitting there with my legs crossed like this, but the state is there. Same things a lot of times when I work out, right? And that's what we're talking about here. The other stuff, it's just being packaged up and sold to you, and a lot of it is, look, start where you're at. And like I always tell people, look, you're coming to me, even if you're shouting, you're like, I want to sign up for this. I'm like, okay, before we do that, go back to step one, demonstrate a certain level of competency and mastery of that, then come here, right? And I think a lot of that is the symptom of social media has accelerated everything, right? And it has warped people's manipulation of perception. Like you say, all they see is flash, success, now, younger, fast, quicker, stronger, right? Like the steroids and all that. And then now it's like, oh man, I've been working for 2 weeks and I'm not a millionaire yet. Or man, I just did my third meditation and I haven't achieved nirvana yet. And I'm not Buddha. Yeah. Like what's going on? I mean, dude, take your time. Like, again, we've been doing this shit more than 10 years. I know he's been doing image consulting since he was in diapers, dude. Like I've been just the online stuff, literally almost 10 years now. Yeah. Right. So dude, I'm still taking steps with a lot of stuff. I haven't gone to the fucking forest like him and been in a cave for 3 days with no water and you know what I mean? Like no light, no chicken heads, no nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
you know how we.
yeah, right. But I'm even at many of you will look at me like, damn, he's rich, he's this and that. I'm still in many cases like calisthenics. I just started it. I'm taking steps, but full immersion, right? We had speakers at the Modern Success event and they're all like, damn, this is one disciplined motherfucker. They all say that about me, but in every right, they all know me in different ways. One's my boxing coach, one's training me here. One is a friend of mine who's been working with me in, the real estate industry, right? But again, how you do anything is how you do everything. And that will always reign true. So when you're listening to this, take a second and think, okay, what do I have on my plate right now? And look at how you're handling that. And if stuff is falling off your plate and you're not handling it right, okay, before you move on to anything else or add anything, handle what's here first.
Damn. Whoa, brother. Damn. Where do I sign up? Oh, dog, that's so fucking true. I mean, the problem here is that you listen to a lot of people that they take advantage of you. You know you're in the presence of two real motherfuckers because we don't want to charge. We don't even want to charge you. We could bullshit the shit out of you. I mean, like, and charge you a lot of money just because. Yes, I see your aura. You're this and that. You're like, oh yeah.
Oh, it just
yeah,
changed.
of course. Oh, that makes sense. Right? And you can bullshit a lot of people. You can literally become a chamullero.
Yeah. Bullshitter.
Yeah, with I'll teach you how to be rich. And I know that you could be actually bullshitting people like, oh yeah, do this, do that. Go get me some coffee and I'll make you rich. And people will actually believe that. Okay, I need to go get BC some coffee. So because a lot of people are doing that, it's giving a bad name to the coaching industry, to mentors, to spirituality, to even money. Money is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with money, but a lot of people are doing it in the wrong way. So it gives a bad name to the whole movement. That's what pisses me off. So, when you're in the presence of two real people that have fully immersed themselves into these things that we're talking about, otherwise we wouldn't be talking about it. For example, I was telling Brian that right now, because of the pandemic, I don't want to talk about money. I don't have like the money that I used to have. And he mentioned something real great, and maybe I'll pass it back to you so that you can talk about that. What the answer that you gave me, because that's great. That's your mindset. But you see what I'm saying is that I'm not going to talk about something that I'm not sure, that I haven't mastered, that I'm not a bullshitter. That's the point. I'm going to talk about things that I know, that I've proven to myself and to others that work. I fully immersed myself into it. And in today's world, in today's society, everyone talks about everything. Everyone's a coach. Everyone is an entrepreneur. Life coach, spiritual coach. Why? Because of this. Yeah, this globalization is making us more connected, but at the same time disconnected with ourselves because we take the easy route. For example, the ayahuasca. Nobody knew. I'm talking about like 5 years ago that I started, even more, like 6 years ago that I started, I began starting with meditation and spirituality and mysticism. Nobody knew about this shit. Now, that's all people talk about. Oh man, have you smoked DMT? Oh man, ayahuasca and they don't even know what that is. They literally don't even know what that is. So simply because someone told them, it's like, oh man, if you drink ayahuasca, you'll become a better person. No, that's not how that works. These people have people that are good at something. They take their entire life, it's lifetime, and even sometimes even generations of mastering a skill that is passed on to another person. Literally, it takes a lifetime to learn these things. So it pisses me off because it gives a bad name, and then we see these bullshitters, getting more exposure because we actually share the truth, and we're getting shadow banned, censored because we want to share the actual true shit. And that's what pisses me off, man. But we don't stop. We keep telling you, okay, do this, do that. If you can't prove that you can, I don't know, wake up at 6 a.m. or take a cold shower or don't drink coffee. Oh, I'm nothing without my morning coffee, man. I couldn't stop drinking coffee. I mean, it's okay. I can do anything else that you tell me, but you can't take away my coffee because I'm nothing without my coffee. Oh, come on. That and before I pass it back to you, and you answered that question about the money thing and all that. That's how I know when I see someone like you, and my shaman, my mentor that gave me my initiation. people like you and I, they know, and I know that you know when you see someone who is like an intense person, someone who's passionate. He could be broke, living in the fucking street, a homeless guy, but you see that hunger, that he's intense. He's gonna do it. You know that you can be a shaman, you can be a millionaire, you can be an NBA player. You Brian can be whatever the fuck you want to be because you fully immerse and you're disciplined and you actually pay attention and you're not like, oh yeah, I already know about that. Oh yeah, I already know about that. So that the trait that you see and the characteristics that you see in Brian as a person, just as a coach, like his overall life, those are the things that you want to, the values, those are the things you want to implement in your life, the things that I do with my life, how I carry myself, how I talk to my friends, how I talk to my woman, how I talk to my daughter, how I move on a mundane, like you say, everyday life. You can, if you are an observant, if you really can observe without judging, you can absorb that, and that's how you get good at things. That's it for me.
That would be another podcast. Observe without judging.
Shit.
Yeah, right. That, like, give it to anybody who's into politics. Impossible, right? Anyways, this is what I want to do, right? He brought up something good. I'm going to mention it now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it and we're going to turn this into like a 2 or 3 part series of the podcast. He brought up money. So in regards to the pandemic, we can talk in respect of both ends of the spectrum and everything in between, meaning what was done to profit off of the situation and what people could have done. Or if you were hit, like he was in a different country. You think you had it bad here in the States. This dude was in Central America and Mexico, right? And I have family in South America. Believe me, way worse what happened to them. Way worse. Tougher restrictions, worse hit to the economy, everything. So we're going to give you a USA, like a national, international perspective. What are some of the things he did? What are some of the things I did? Because I came out of this, situation doing much better. I'm making more money. I had my biggest month ever last month, right? And I told him how much I made. I don't really disclose it to too many people, but it's pretty cool. Yet, by society standards, because I'm not flashing shit. I'm not Lamborghini this, Lamborghini that. Oh, he's struggling. He's going broke. Idiots, right? But we're going to continue that on the next episode because I think this is a good place to end. We also, and I'll announce it now, we're doing a meetup on Saturday at my office here in Miami. If you're interested, I will put Pablo's handles in the description for like Instagram and all that stuff. Yeah, you have mine, which if you can find me too, right? But we're going to do a free meetup. It's going to be a training / meetup 10 to 12 Saturday at my office here in North Miami, Aventura area. If you're committed and you're interested and you're for sure going to come, message me and I'll give you the details and we can see you then. So any closing remarks, my friend?
Yeah, if you're one of the people that we were referring to right now, the committed, disciplined, you may have nothing on going on right now, but if you are hungry, you want to be surrounded by people like Brian, myself, and all the people that are going to go there. We want to connect. We want to do some networking. We want to teach you and pass on some things. So we'll see you there, man. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. And this message goes out to everybody. My office, when I pull out the cars, the meeting section can fit 40, 50 people. If you're listening to this and you're in the northern part of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, New Orleans, and you want to drive down to my office for this event, please do and bring a guest who's hungry. This is going to be a good place to meet people. This, again, free of charge. Is going to be a training, right? It's going to be very beneficial for you. All right. So we'll wrap it up here. I'll be featuring another podcast this week minimum with Pablo. We'll keep this as a series. I think it's going to be at least 2 or 3 episodes, probably 3. And some of them may be longer because, I like to stick to that 20, 25-minute format. All right. That's it for this one, guys. BrianCasella.com for all the details. Message me or him in regards to the free event this Friday, which if I give you the Saturday will be the 19th of March. All right. That's it for this one, guys. Peace.